Hi everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Power of Community podcast. My name is Andrew Bibby, and every few weeks I'll be having a chat with people from the Power Platform and Dynamics 365 world, and we get to know them a little better, what sort of things they are doing at the moment, how they got into Dynamics 365 or Power Platform, what events they're speaking at, and also just general current affairs and things that are happening in the Power Platform and Dynamics 365 world. This week we've got Joe Griffin and Craig Seymour from the UK, and also two MVPs, Megan Walker, or Emoji Megs as you might know her, and also Malin Donoso Martnes from Norway, who's a talent MVP. So we have a chat with them. I hope you enjoy the show, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Hi Joe, hi Megan, hi Malin, hi Craig, how are you doing?
Hello.
Oh well?
Hi.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Okay, so this is first show. I'm quite excited. I was just thinking, actually, we've got so many people that I can get on this show because I was going to do it like once a month, but there's so many people like on Black Ops and things like that we could just do this every week, really, which would be fun. And you can come back and we'll just have a chat and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, let's start with Joe because on my screen you're at the top left, and then I'll go around clockwise. But Joe, quick hello, say hello, what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Joe Griffin. I work for a company called Solo, who are based down in Reading. So at the moment doing a mixture of sort of IT project manager and and also some consulting as well. We're hoping to try and get some sort of partner offering off the ground, so which I'm sort of taking the lead in. So yeah, project manager but very hands-on, should we say.
You are like the most technical project manager I've ever come across. I think I see your job title and it's like project manager. I think, do you do any project management?
Occasionally. Well, I've got Microsoft Project on my desk, on my machine, so that counts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There you go then.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah,
Okay.
It's a small company, so lots of hats, as I'm sure if you've been in a situation before where you worked in a small company, you have to keep nimble.
Do a bit of everything. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Megan, hello. Do you want to do a quick intro?
Yes, certainly. My name is Megan Walker. I work for PowerApps, who are a Microsoft partner, and I still call myself a CRM consultant, but CRM, Dynamics 365, customer engagement, what's that face, Craig? And then also do a blog, create videos, so doing content, pushing it out to the community. But in terms of from the PowerApps perspective, then I am working with clients on projects to either implement Dynamics from the start or work with customers that have already got an environment and then just making configuration changes and advising and generally consulting.
Mm-hmm. Bit of everything. What's your job title? Have you got an interesting job title?
What is it? Something like lead consultant and capability manager. Capability
manager. That was it.
Yeah. I'm really capable. I can manage my capabilities. No, I have a team that report into me. So other consultants within the practice. So that's general mentoring and helping with kind of HR related issues or just questions or have you ever done this? Can you help me with that kind of thing? So yeah, that to me is the part that I really enjoy, is trying to help others and seeing them kind of progress through their career journeys as well.
Cool. How many people have PowerApps got in the UK now, roughly?
Oh, if anyone from PowerApps is watching, this is totally wrong, probably over 250, I think. Excuse me.
Wow, yeah. That's pretty decent, isn't it?
It's grown really, really quickly. So yeah, for sure.
Cool
and
stuff.
That number's probably, even if that number was right, it's probably wrong as of next week.
So still
fast.
Still expanding.
Wow. Yeah, for sure.
Cool
for sure.
Stuff. Okay, let me come on to Malin. Malin, you're in Oslo, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, quick introduction.
Yeah, all the way over to Norway here. I'm in Oslo. I come from the farther part of Norway, the northern part of Norway, Lofoten, the Lofoten Islands, which are very famous and very beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I live in Oslo and have done so for 12 years.
Mhm.
And I'm, as Megan, a CRM consultant.
Old school. I like it.
Yeah. I've been in this game since 2009 when I started as a customer. So
Okay.
but, the last year I've been focusing mainly on talent.
Yeah. Let's come back to that. I want to talk about that.
I currently
Cool.
work at Point Taken. Small,
Yeah. I want to
small.
talk about that as well.
Yeah.
So what does Point Taken do? My Norwegian is a little bit rusty, and I tried to do a bit of research. But yeah, so are they a partner, or are they?
Yeah.
Do they just do Dynamics or other stuff?
No, we're mainly a SharePoint house. So we started SharePoint, and that's our biggest department as of now.
Mhm.
And we do some Nintex, which is workflow.
The pennies just dropped. Point Taken.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But now we're focusing more on Dynamics and the Power Platform and analytics, and we've started our own analytics department, and we're trying to grow our Dynamics department as well. But Norway is a small country, and CRM consultants are hard to find.
Yeah, I guess
so. If there are anybody looking for a job watching, come to me.
So I guess with SharePoint, like what I see is a lot of SharePoint people starting to do PowerApps from that side, and they're getting into Canvas apps. Like that's their way into our little platform, the Power Platform.
Everyone's platform now.
Unfortunately, but I still feel like we started it, and so we have this kind of around. So is that kind of where the PowerApps angles come in, or Power Platform?
Yeah. Well, it was somewhat, but the Dynamics department, it was basically we're 36 employees.
Okay.
So we're not big, but they saw that, customers wanted the full spectrum, and we do Office 365 and everything. So, then we're missing this one part with CRM. Can we just start building a
small part?
Yeah. Now, we have some internal discussions with the SharePoint team.
Right.
On when to use SharePoint and use CRM.
The answer is always SharePoint, right? You imagine you like facing off in the office, arguing about what's used. Okay, Craig, you work for CloudThing in the UK. You want to do a little introduction?
Yes, so I am CloudThing's Dynamics practice lead. There's a bit of a ceremonial title because I don't have any time. I don't have any time to lead the practice. It's kind of a technical role, so I'm providing technical oversight to all of the Dynamics stuff we do. CloudThing actually is a software company rather than a Dynamics practice per se. So lots of solution architecture, DevOps, bespoke apps, kind of one-off apps for customers. And then I guess about 4 years ago, I think Comic Relief was our first kind of Dynamics related job. Microsoft referred them to us because it was a kind of a complicated thing. And being a software house, we kind of realized quite quickly that that CRM as it was a pretty awesome platform. And there's a whole bunch of stuff and they didn't have to do any more. So you could concentrate on making it all work really nicely. So the Power Platform is really good for us because now it's officially recognized as a platform. We don't have to kind of talk through the CRM piece necessarily to get to where the part of it that we want to use, which is the platform. We do some CRM type stuff, but it's not really our main focus.
So you're using it mainly as from that XRM perspective.
Yeah, since the beginning. So that Comic Relief thing, for example, is all about donation gift aid processing. Doesn't use contacts, accounts, opportunities, any of that part at all. It's kind of bespoke. If we did it now, we would just gone straight for common data service.
Yeah. Cool. So that sounds like quite a big project. Like as a first one, Comic Relief. That's massive charity.
It was pretty big. Yeah. So basically, all the money they make from kind of the events they do and that sort of stuff just goes straight into the end user, the people who need to receive the money. Comic Relief actually, I think, make most of their actual kind of operating capital from the tax that they claim back on donations through gift aid process. It's really important for them to get that right. There were definitely some challenges around doing. I wasn't actually at CloudThing at that time, so definite challenges around making that all work. But that was kind of that was the in, and then since then, I think Dynamics type stuff now accounts for about a third of CloudThing's business, maybe a bit more. So no longer just bespoke software and architecture and DevOps. Dynamics and data science actually is the other thing we're picking up at the moment. Just because founders of the company are really techie guys that really enjoy doing tech stuff. I was just really lucky to find somewhere that wanted to approach Dynamics from that point of view, because that's the side I was really interested in. I'd come from a technical architecture background in a .NET software company before. So yeah.
Cool. Let me see your t-shirt. I can only see like half of it.
I love that t-shirt.
I don't know if you can see all of that.
I want one.
You had that specially made, didn't you?
Cool.
No, it was I'd just stumbled across it on Amazon. I don't know, they kind of do this sort of AI type stuff, I guess, and figured out that somehow that I'm a solution architect, and that popped up into my recommendations. So it's kind of one of these things, they do t-shirts and they you kind of bid to buy it, and then if they get enough bids they actually do the run or something. So something like that, yeah.
Cool.
So there must have been at least 200 solution architects out in the world who wanted this t-shirt.
Who were like, how can I explain what I do?
Yeah, my wife has no idea what I do. Something with computers.
Yeah. Ones and zeros. That's what I usually get.
Cool. So I guess I should ask where you are and then where you're working, really, because you're probably working not where you live. Malin, do you work from home, or where do you work?
Oh, I work in Oslo. We have an office.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we're kind of geographically focused around Oslo. So I really have to travel a lot for work.
Okay. So most of your projects are in Norway or in Oslo?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I've never been. I really want to go, but I've never been. Unfortunately, I can't go to the Power Platform Saturday because I'm on holiday, which is a shame. But yeah, I'm coming to Stockholm.
Yeah.
In I don't know, October. Yeah, so that'd be good.
As well. So
you're doing that one as well, yeah.
I hope so.
yeah. We don't know yet, do we? Now that you mention it, yeah. So they haven't actually announced who's speaking yet, so that's cool. And Megan, you're at home at the moment.
Yes, so I'm currently on two projects, which the companies themselves, one's based in London, one's in Amsterdam, but predominantly working from home. Got a trip coming up to Amsterdam in a couple of weeks, which is fine with me. That's quite nice. But yeah, mostly working from home, which is good because I've just come off of a project which was working away on site several days a week. So it's nice to just
be at home. And where's home for you? Is it
home's Chesterfield. So not far from anyone that doesn't know, not too far from Sheffield. So in the East Midlands area, Derbyshire, and that sort of area. So.
Cool. And how do you find getting to work and going on site and that sort of thing? Is it
getting to work when I'm at home? It's great. I just get up.
I mean, like getting to Coventry.
Maybe brush my hair. Sorry, how do I find getting to work? What do you mean?
No, like when you're on site, when you're in London or Coventry. Yeah. I was just looking the other day because I was I can't remember. I was actually looking how to get to Newcastle because I'm going up there in a few weeks, and it's just like a marathon journey for me. And I thought, Jesus, I can't do this every week. But how do you find that?
No, Chesterfield's actually. So I'm from Newcastle originally, and then I moved to America for 14 years. And when I convinced my lovely American husband to move back or move over here with me, it just so happened my mum had a house in Chesterfield that she was renting. So we're like, okay, well, we'll rent from you for a bit until we figure out where we want to land and actually call home. And then we really like it. And it's very centrally located. So London, you can get there in like an hour and 45 minutes. So
really? Wow.
yeah, so it's not bad at all. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So it's just you that lives in a silly place.
Yeah, I really do. I really chose like location over commuting to anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it takes about an hour about the same to get to London, even though I'm about, I don't know, 150 miles further south than you, something like that.
Bit silly, isn't it? But...
Yeah, crazy. And Joe, you're always in Reading, aren't you?
Yeah, Solo's based down in Reading, so I'm down there probably once in a blue moon. So it probably needs explaining. So me and my team, we've all got home-based contracts. We used to work for a company called Acrobat, based up in North Manchester, but they went into administration and Solo effectively acquired our team. So we've all got home-based contracts, and we sort of show up in Reading once in a blue moon. So for me at the moment, work is mostly at home, so near Buxton in Derbyshire, the mineral water place. But I've been all over. I was in Bath on Monday, Bolton on Tuesday, in Reading next week. We've got some clients down in Cardiff as well occasionally. So yeah, it's just, I think if I worked at home all the time, I'd probably just end up being a hermit. I think so. It's nice just to get out occasionally and just actually see some real people.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So are you working on many projects at once then?
Yeah, so at the moment, the main thing we've got at the moment is this solution we've got for the water industry. So Solo effectively are a traditional sort of direct mail fulfillment, pick and pack sort of outfit. But the reason why they acquired us is because we've got a solution that's using aspects of the sort of the Microsoft stack to help fulfill that. So we're using things such as Azure for hosting websites. We've got bespoke applications that we've developed as part of that. We're using things like Azure Data Factory, and then at the back end of that, we sort of have a Power BI solution. So we basically give our clients full access to reporting dashboards, and we're basically taking them from previously CSV spreadsheets that they've spent probably 16 years building out in Excel, giving them just a really lovely, fantastic Power BI solution, and they're just like, yeah, this is amazing. So I'm involved in that mostly, but I'm also at the moment doing a bit of consulting around CRM at the moment. So I'm working with a few different organizations. One partner organization I'm working with, some end users, just helping them around getting to grips with Dynamics. One of the projects I'm involved with is around custom pricing plugins.
Okay, so that's a PSA.
Yeah, so in fact, I've had to get familiar with PSA a bit more because because we had a custom pricing solution that was sort of working fine for the sales module, but then as soon as you install PSA, it basically breaks the whole thing. So I had to basically go back in, untangle it all. It's been quite useful actually, because I've not actually had much exposure to PSA before.
Yeah, no,
it's been a real eye opener in terms of seeing how it does. It's from a back end point of view, it's not particularly nicely customized. I just look at it and I'm just like screaming when I'm looking at some of the customization, just like, why are you doing it this way? But it's it looks really nice on the front end. That's all that matters.
What do you think of it? I mean, have you had a chance to form an opinion? Because I've like looked at it for sort of a couple of customers and things like that who've been sort of interested, but it kind of always looked like something that's very niche and very specific, maybe to people like partners, how it was developed originally. What do you think of it?
I think the problem is that it seems to be changing in quite a big way quite often. So you had, I think, version 2, which has been around for a while, version 3, which I think breaks a lot of stuff if you're trying to move from it. Okay. And then I'm hearing that there's going to be a whole new
whatever they're doing for Project version and all that. Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, it looks great, but how can you? Is it safe to adopt it yet? If you're going to be sort of saying, okay.
Totally. I think that's what really kind of held me back when I was looking at it for people, is that It just feels like, okay, you're going to invest in this and maybe hundreds of thousands of pounds into it, and then what does that look like in 2 years' time? Are you going to have to do that all over again to migrate to something else? I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I think Antti would be on my back if I slated it too much.
Yeah, that's not
Antti's been really. I've been basically hammering him every probably loads of questions and stuff like that, and he's just been back straight away with all the answers. Yeah. He really is. He's a superstar. Hearsay god, really.
He is. No, don't say that.
It'll go to his head otherwise, yeah.
And how about you, Craig? You're based south of Birmingham. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I live.
Are you in London a bit?
Not at the moment. So I live south east Birmingham. I work southwest Birmingham. And sort of divide myself between home, the office, and customer site as needed. And for the past 3 years, that's the customer site has been just the one down in Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes, yeah.
I've talked about it a few times before.
Yeah.
But that's
always like going there or coming back from there.
Yeah. So yeah, I've missed a couple of the Birmingham CRMUG meetings because not being able to get back from there or being held up.
And how was your go live, by the way?
Sorry?
How was your go live?
Oh yeah.
That one that you missed the last meeting.
I missed three CRMUG meetings because of that go live that kept not going live. But yes, finally 2 days before I went on holiday, that finally went out.
Oh, cool.
And then I just wandered off.
Yeah,
left it to Nathan to sort out any problems that might arise. But I spent 2 weeks sorting out the problems he created because he was on holiday. So I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good. That was that was interesting because the customer is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, or ICAW for short. And this was they're doing this big business systems transformation program, 5-year project. We're halfway through, and this was kind of the rollout of stage 2, which was the integration of what we'd done essentially for their commercial sales operation, integrating that into their new finance system, which is NAV. And if there's one thing you don't want to get wrong, it's 150,000 members, and you've got to send them out a bill for their membership ever so often. You've got to make sure that bill is right because accountants are really going to notice. Okay, so it was really important that we got the integration between customer engagement and NAV spot on. So that was why I disappeared for quite a few weeks and didn't do anything. No blogs, no meetings, no nothing.
That's on-prem by the sound of it.
The NAV is on-prem, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Dynamics is online.
Oh, okay. What are you using for integration?
I actually used to work for the Norwegian counterpart for the accountants, organization. So I was a customer. So, and we also had NAV on-prem.
Really?
So yeah.
Very popular.
So the integration we didn't. Cloud Things' preferred solution was obviously quite techy. We wanted to use Azure Service Bus and Azure Functions and that kind of stuff. That would have been our kind of ideal solution, but pressures of time and budget and that kind of stuff, we ended up using Kingsway Soft.
Okay.
Which actually has worked okay. I don't think there's been any real problems. And obviously it's got a nice sort of UI for defining workflows and all that kind of stuff. So we're able to involve our Indian dev team as well, where Nathan did most of the architecture around that. But then the dev team were able to come in and make tweaks and changes and upskill themselves a little bit there. So,
and was it batch or was it real time?
Real-ish time. So I think every 2 minutes a SQL Server agent runs a Kingsway Soft. An SSIS package. Yeah. Which does the processing and.
It seems really old school, but I love that sort of stuff. I haven't done that for years.
But it works. So we've basically got a queue table in Dynamics, and there's some. I haven't really looked at the nav side too much, but I think that is. Actually, I don't know how the changes are stored up in nav, but basically it's polling for changes and synchronizing them over and doing all that kind of standard old type stuff. It wasn't quite what we wanted, like I said, but there you go. You do what you have to do. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I'm going to be working with a customer that's got some on-site on-prem nav, so I might have to tap you guys up about that.
Yeah.
What do I do with that? Cool. So What was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, MVP. So I need to talk about Malin and Megan. Slightly, I think you're slightly ahead of Malin.
A month?
Malin,
yeah.
When did you get yours?
I got mine 1st of May.
May.
1st of July.
July. Good. It's a good day to do it. But are you the first talent MVP in the world?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is amazing. That's a massive kudos to you. So how did you find out about that? Did you know that you'd been nominated? You get the email?
Yeah. I actually first became nominated in the winter time, and I got an email the week before the user group in Amsterdam. That I didn't have a high enough impact to become an MVP. And then
that was like April.
Yeah.
And then
end of March.
End of March. Okay.
Yeah. And then I had an hour with some from the product team that came over from
in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I had 1 hour with 5 persons from the talent team in the US. And they started out, but a bit out. They said, "Well, Malin, have you considered becoming an MVP?"
Yeah.
No. Never. And I told them about I just got noticed that I didn't receive it, and they all just looked at me and said, "We'll fix that." Well,
nice.
Don't worry.
Nice.
So actually, one of those guys nominated me.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic! I think it's a big nod getting somebody from Microsoft that thinks you're really good. I think that carries a bit of sway. So, and how long have you been working with talent?
March 2018.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you? Why do you think you got it? Why do you think you are a talent MVP rather than a business application? Oh, you are a business application, but CRM, if you like.
Yeah. Well, I actually did. The guy that nominated me the first time, he is an ex-MVP working at Microsoft in Norway.
Okay.
Fredrik Sætre, in the finance and operations part. And he told me, well, if you want to get noticed, then do 1 blog post every day for a month.
Wow.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, I just did the certification and passed it. I was the second in the world to pass the certification for talent as well.
Cool.
Yeah, missed by 20 minutes.
Oh no, really?
Yep. Really annoying.
Well, you got
really annoying.
I like how you said in your that interview you recently did with the MS Dynamics World, and she said something like, "Yes, I missed being first by 20 minutes, and I've never even heard that guy's name since." It's like, okay,
whatever.
I hope he's read that and is like, hey.
I love to hear from him because it is kind of lonely. But then I said, okay, I'll do because I love Neil Parker's blogs. Once he done on the certification, it's gotten me through all the certifications on CRM. So I thought, okay, that's helped me so extremely much. So I want to do that for talent.
Okay, so you did it for the exam for talent.
Yeah, and I actually ended up doing 1 blog post every day or every working day for 6 months.
Wow. Fantastic.
Amazing.
That is amazing. That's how I first heard of Malin, was because I kept seeing this person tweeting and pushing out this content. And I remember reaching out to you being like, how on earth are you managing to do that? And that's like first started chatting with her, just like say, I am so impressed, because I know doing like 1 or 2 a week is a lot of effort, but to do 1 every single day, 5 days a week for that amount of time is absolutely crazy. So in terms of making an impact, like you made a massive impact for a very long time. So yeah.
Can we talk about that? Because that's something I struggle with really, is like doing a day job and having time, not just to do community stuff, but actually pushing out quality blog posts. And I know that Joe and Megan and Malin are blogging a lot. Craig, you've done a bit of blogging for Cloud Thing, haven't you?
Yeah, 3 or 4, yeah.
How do you find the time to do it? Or does your employer support you and say you can have some time? So particularly for you, Malin, how did you possibly find that time? Did you just get up 2 hours early every day?
And I have, when I come home from work, I have a son, and he's turning 3 in September. So I have.
So you have loads of spare time, right?
Yeah.
No.
I just do when he's awake. I don't do anything on the computer or no work, nothing. I just hang out with him. So there were a lot of late nights.
Yeah, God, I'm sure. That's phenomenal.
And looking back at it now, I think it's crazy. I can't understand
how you do it.
I found time. Some of the posts are massive.
Yeah.
And some of the other parts are just, oh wow, this is just 4 pictures and write something about it, and we're done. But
so I know Neil a little bit, Neil Parkhurst, because we do the Birmingham user group, me and Craig and a guy called Imtiaz and Sophie, and he just doesn't sleep very much. That's how he does it. He gets up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's his routine. And he just doesn't need very much sleep, and so that's how he can kind of churn the stuff out all the time. So, but yeah, that's a bit superhuman as well, really. How about you, Joe? What do you do? Do you do it on the weekends and things?
Weekends, yeah, but you have to be in the zone with it a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I find.
You have to have something which you feel is gonna contribute something, that's interesting or maybe a bit niche, and it's not essentially going to be something that you've that's already out there, that's been published, or something that you're just essentially repackaging that you've got from a Google script or something like that. So it's difficult. I did a series last year on the Power BI exam, and I need to get back into the habit of doing and this is where Megan's really good in terms of just, I'm going to focus on doing this, and just do it basically from start to finish. I think if you've got something like that to help focus you on, I've got a whole series on here, I can do this topic, this topic. It helps you, but it is difficult. It's really difficult.
Yeah. I think it's great. Like Megan, you do a really good job, not just on your brand, but on your on like with Forms Pro, and you found a niche. And this is kind of what Neil did as well. He started doing USD stuff, and then he was just like, okay, I'm going to do USD. Forms Pro is obviously a lot newer, but you're really kind of digging into that, and now you're kind of doing stuff that nobody else is. Well, maybe other people are doing, but nobody's doing that sort of concentrated deep dive into what you can do with Forms Pro. Do you think you'll carry on with that much longer?
I don't know. It's a weird one, because before Forms Pro, a lot of the stuff that I was doing was based on projects that I was working on, because I was still figuring so much stuff out and being like, okay, clients are asking for something that's not out of the box, so I have to think and be creative. So I would do something, figure it out, and then write about it. And then I was working on a project where, from a sales perspective, we demoed voice of the customer, and that's what they bought into. And then Forms Pro came out, and it was at the time where it was just kind of like whispers of, well, what's going to happen with voice of the customer. And I was like, okay, I need to know what this is. So the first couple of blog posts were very much just kind of me exploring it, and then once I started to understand, oh, hang on a second, because I was like, well, where's all the data being stored? Okay, well, it's in CDS. Well, okay, well, what can I then do with that data? Oh my God, model-driven apps, I can put it all together. I can close a case and have that trigger something. So the thing for me that I've learned the most has been actually about Microsoft Flow. So Forms Pro, okay, that's great, but I have learned so much about Flow in the past few months, because now I'm looking at, okay, well, when something happens, I want to send out a text message, or when a case is closed, I don't want to send a survey request every single time. I only want to send one out every other day. So if they've already done one within the past couple of days, let's check that first, and then not send the invite if they've already responded. Or
I understand that question now that you put up. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you're trying to do a date diff in
yes, exactly.
yeah.
So a lot of the questions that I've been putting in different channels, in the community and asking for people's help is because I'm there's one piece that I just can't figure out, and I know it must be possible, and that will provide an amazing full experience with Forms Pro if I can figure that out. So there's one now about unsubscribes. What happens if someone unsubscribes, and then how do you then handle that from a sort of GDPR perspective and all of that. So for me, I've gone back and forth and wrestled and thought, am I putting myself into a smaller box by just doing, I think the past 4 months I've done Forms Pro stuff. But then I also, if I sort of step back and think, I feel like I'm really lucky. I think Marlin's really lucky. I think Auntie's really lucky. I think Neil Parkhurst is lucky. But also you've seen,
it's a conscious thought.
It's a conscious thought.
Decision.
You start out and you're lucky because maybe you're one of the first people, but then you've got to make that decision to keep going. And actually, no matter what happens, I know that it would take someone a seriously long time to get as much content as I have about Forms Pro, and the same with Malin for talent. So I've wrestled back and forth, and now I'm at peace with, it's okay to be now focused on Forms Pro. I won't do it forever. There will be other things that I will write about, and sometimes I'll have a post about Forms Pro, and in the same week a post about something else. But yeah, it's been fantastic, and for me, from an MVP perspective, being able to provide feedback and then seeing the team actually respond and say, oh yeah, actually you're right, we could maybe implement those sorts of things, or yes, actually that's it. So that has been absolutely valuable to me. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I think you've been talking to Welly. Have you met Welly Lee?
I haven't. No, we've had quite a few chats, but yeah, it's been awesome to work with.
He's a great guy, and I met him in Seattle earlier this year when they were talking about when Forms Pro was going to come out, and he's so responsive and so open to feedback and comment, and they just want to make a better product, really. So that's what I really like about this kind of new Microsoft that we've got, is that everybody is so open to people saying, actually, have you thought about this? And then they can even make changes off the back of it. I think that's amazing.
And
it's such a big company.
I think as long as it comes with the context of, if someone's just saying, I'd really like to see this, okay, so, but if you know what, from a client perspective, if I saw this, that would mean that the client would then be able to do X, Y, Z, and be able to make more money and be able to reduce, stress and blah, 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 and all of these benefits of it. If you come to them with that as your suggestion, rather than just, I want it to be pink. So I think, as long as you've got the value of, well, what is it that the client will get from this, then that's the benefit.
I think that's part of what MVPs bring, but that's also part of what customers bring in giving feedback, is that Microsoft have the product group, they talk to customers, but obviously they can't talk to that many customers before they change something out. And so giving them the feedback from the field and boots on the ground, and actually saying, like I've given feedback from customers directly about, say, the weekly update schedule and things like that. So they have an idea of how it should work, but actually in the real world it's causing this problem, or this could be improved, or whatever. And I think that's a huge value that customers can bring, and MVPs can bring, like customers through MVPs, I guess, but also giving feedback through the normal channels like ideas.microsoft.com.
I think in terms of blog ideas as well, you're saying in terms of, and Joe, you'd mentioned this, like being able to kind of like keep something consistent and having the content. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm really lucky, because I will have people send me messages either on the blog or through the my contact form and stuff, and say, I'm trying to do this, and I'll be like, oh, yes, that's an awesome blog idea. So there's the element of wanting to help, because I want them to be able to achieve it, but also I'm like, hey, there's another one in the pocket, so I've got like
which
10,
is perfect, right? Isn't it? Because
ready to go.
You're not just helping one person, you're learning a bit yourself, and also sharing it with all these people that read your blog anyway. So that's the whole kind of community thing.
And sometimes I don't want to be sort of writing and sort of stating the flipping obvious. There's always a fear. Okay, what I'm actually just basically telling somebody to suck eggs here, type thing.
What?
You go onto this web page, click this button on here.
Yeah, no, but people don't. Difficult. People don't, and that's what I found when I started blogging years and years ago. The most popular posts would be the most obvious things to me, because people just, for whatever reason, won't go and look up how to do something. They would rather Google. Which I do all the time, and take the first few hits, and so there's no wrong thing to blog. I mean, I was going to say look at Ben Husk, but that's
put that out.
Very kind of him when I like Ben. That's worked for him because he's been super consistent in putting out blog posts about all kinds of topics, and that's got him an online presence. So I think that's part of it, is just being consistent. I don't blog particularly much, but I've been consistent in other ways, and it's kind of consistency gets you out there, if you like.
And I think if we all sat back and thought, "Ooh, this is really simple," then we wouldn't have so much information out there for people to be able to get, and people learn in different ways. And even if you've seen it written elsewhere, someone else might read it and think, like, I've read blog posts all the time where I'm like, I think I know what it means, but it's just written in a really either presumptive way, or it's just the language is just a bit weird. So don't think that. And if I'd thought everyone knows how to put emojis in option sets, where would I be?
Exactly. That was genius, right? Because everybody was like, I think when I read it, I was like, of course you can do that. Why shouldn't you be able to do that? But nobody's thought about actually doing it,
But that was the thing. It was a complete fluke, because I'd set up social engagement, and I'd set up a process that would take tweets that had mentioned some hashtag, and it would create a lead from it. And I forgot that I'd set it up, and I went into the environment like a few weeks later, and I start seeing all these emojis on the leads, and I'm like,
oh really? Yeah.
What? Oh, hang on a second. And then I just thought, well, where else can I put it? And it was
what? That gave me the idea. Like I because you can put it in any text, can't you? Yeah. And I was writing a Power App, and your blog post inspired me to put emojis in my labels for my, I was doing some pets thing. And you can do a little cat and a dog and stuff, and it comes up in the Power App, and it's just so easy to do.
And it's so stupid, isn't it? It's just one thing. And I don't really care about emojis, and now everyone says stuff, they see things about emojis, and I get tagged and stuff, and I was like, I really don't care that much about emojis, but I'll go with it.
I love them. They just make everything more kind of interesting and colourful. Okay, let's talk about events coming up. So Craig, we've got Birmingham, 25th of September, which you've been on holiday, so I don't know if you know.
All the emails, but I've seen lots of emails from you and Neil about stuff we need to do and meetings we should have.
Yeah. So we're on the organising committee, and we have these. We're not very far away, probably 6 weeks away, and we have a little run up where we have a few calls, and we kind of all say, I'll do this time, and we check things off and stuff. And we've just been going through that. So we've had our first one. We've got another couple of calls. But that should be cool. Last one went well. I don't know if that was because you were there or not.
Joe or me?
No, Joe did a great show. Great talk in our last one. So we've got one coming up the 25th of September.
Anything lined up? Any definite?
We've got speakers. No, I can't announce them yet because we haven't talked to them yet, so I haven't confirmed them. But I think we've got speakers lined up for the end of this week, and that should be cool. It's always good turnout. What do we get, 35, 40 people?
Yep.
It's a great
not bad for 2 hours on a Wednesday evening, is it?
It's not. And actually, I've just remembered that I'm trying to rope you into doing a talk. So.
Oh really? What am I talking on?
About Wave 2.
About what? Sorry.
Wave 2. I'm just going to abbreviate the whole 2019 Wave 2 for Dynamics 365 and Power Platform into Wave 2. We're going to do what's coming, what's new and cool. Yeah, that'll be all right. Because
at Cloud Thing we do these monthly get-togethers. All solution architects get together and we talk about stuff. And I was supposed to chair the last meeting, which I had to not chair because of this go live. And I was going to talk about what was new for the last round of updates. So I can kill two birds with one stone by when I do the next meeting, doing it in Birmingham as well. Yeah.
Well, I'll give you a call about that because we need to talk about content. I need to write it anyway because I'm doing that session in Dublin. And Joe, you're going to be there. Marlin, are you going to be
Dublin? I'm not too sure actually. I was looking at it maybe. I'm in Oslo next week. Looking forward to Oslo. Oslo's going to be.
So Oslo's next week, right?
Yeah, it is.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. So not this one coming, the one after that, 24th.
24th of August, yeah.
Cool, that's got a really nice little lineup, hasn't it? That Marius is organising that.
Yeah, I actually met Marius today at Microsoft because I'm helping somewhat with organising. And there are 130 signed up.
Wow.
Yeah, on a Saturday.
Just from Norway or from surrounding countries? Or there's a few people going from the UK. So Sarah's going to be there, Mohammed, Mustafa,
Mark.
Julian Sharp's going to be there. Julian's.
Oh, yeah.
Julian, yeah.
He's the best CRM trainer in the world.
Yeah.
I think Mark Smith as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
Got a presentation. Yeah.
And we have Gustav from Sweden.
Yeah, cool.
And we have
Jonas will be there.
What? Who?
I think Jonas Rapp. I think
no.
I think he's doing an XRM toolbox session. I was looking at the session.
Yeah, he's doing the workshops. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So
You guys, if you guys are going out on the Friday night,
yeah,
you're going to tear it up, and then have to present on Saturday. So
that's the rock and roll lifestyle, isn't it? You know.
It sounds great. Yeah.
And I'm actually doing because I have a Women in Dynamics meetup group in Norway.
Oh, cool! Fantastic.
Yeah. So we've had 2 meetups so far, and we're actually just turning 100 members in the group.
Wow!
In
Norway.
In Norway, in Oslo.
Wow! Amazing.
Yes. So
there's a lot of people that are doing it there.
Yeah. And we're having a meetup. The next one is the 12th of September.
Okay, not too far away.
Nope.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
A lot of things are happening.
yeah, loads of stuff. So after that, there is, I'm just going to go the things that I know about because I've applied for them. There's Dublin, and you're on the list for that, Joe. I don't know if you know that already, but
am I?
I think you're on the list to speak. I don't know if you're
people, unfortunately, on the list that aren't necessarily aware of it. I'm on the list and I'm aware, and I'm definitely going.
You're going, cool.
Yeah, I'd love an excuse to go to Dublin again. I would.
I found out today.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't completely sure that I was going either, but well, that'd be cool. There's lots of good people going to that as well.
So I'm looking forward. That one will be good. That's the 28th of September.
28th. Yeah. That's another Saturday.
Before that, I'm also going to be September 19th. PowerApps and Flow user group in London.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Which is a good one. I've been to that one before, so I'm doing a presentation there on Forms Pro and Forms Pro in conjunction with Flow.
Flow, nice. Are you doing? Is that the reactor?
It is, yeah. And actually, I always feel like I pronounce his name wrong. John Levesque. Did I say it right?
John
Levesque.
That one.
So he and I recorded one of his Flow sessions to where we did again Flow and Forms Pro. That'll be out on the 20th of this month. So everything's just kind of Flow related with.
Where do you find the time? God, how can I register for that PowerApps UG one? I'm not sure I can make it, but is it on PowerAppsUG.com?
I think so. It's also on my website, which is meganvwalker.com.
There you go. It's a much better place to go.
Where was that again, Megan?
meganvwalker.com.
Your excellent
so that was
website.
really a good one. Yeah.
And then since we're giving plugs, can I plug our next CRM UG event?
Yes,
well?
I was going to ask you about that. So you do Manchester, right?
Yep. So we're back on the 26th of September in Manchester. We've got a fantastic lineup of speakers. We've got Mark Christie coming all the way down from Scotland. We've also got Matty Beard from Data 8 talking to us about data issues, and also Jamie Hurst from the Trenches talk. So should be a really good evening. So Just check out the UG website if you want to come along.
So that's d365ug.com/UK.
Yeah.
Excellent. And where's that one in Manchester? Where?
That'll be at the RSM in Harborne Square. So just off
stuff.
Spinningfields.
And if we're talking about UG meetings, then the guys would be pissed off if I forgot to say that we've got the Nottingham one coming up on October the 10th.
Excellent.
Oh, great.
I need to send these dates out. So what I'll do is put these in the show notes as well.
And of course we have the Power Platform 24.
Yes.
The virtual live event.
Shit, there's just so much going on. Power Platform 24, that's the 24th and 25th, right? 25th
and 26th.
25th, 26th, okay.
Yeah, someone missed that.
Okay.
24th.
Because because that's the date of our user group, right, Craig? So
yeah, I'm
not sure. I've just got loads going on that week. So yeah, Power Platform 24. That's another good one. So that's virtual conference. Sessionize is open for that, isn't it? But yeah, I'll put things in the show notes for that. So Megan, you were saying that was Nottingham.
Yep.
On October 10th. Awesome stuff. Okay, cool.
I'm
really conscious that we've got 2 minutes to go before Megan has a very important appointment. Not Megan, Malin, sorry. Has an important appointment. But actually, we've got Oslo, just after that. Oslo is the following weekend, isn't it? That's the 5th of October. No, not Oslo, God. I'm not saying that I've had too much wine, but...
there are too many events. It's just crazy.
Yeah. It is, absolutely.
It is at the moment, right? Because there's tons going on.
Yeah.
The 5th of October is Stockholm.
Yeah, but none of us know that what's going on with that yet in terms of who's been approved.
Sarah, we are waiting.
We'll know at the end of this month.
When Sarah gets back from holiday.
Yeah. And Jonas is in Greece at the moment, and I messaged him earlier and said, "Do you know what's happening?" He was like, I'm on my honeymoon at the moment. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. I'll leave you to your honeymoon. Yeah, that's the end of August. We'll find out about that. So that'd be cool as well. I've not been to Stockholm. I don't know if anybody else has. I mean, Malin, I'm guessing you might have. Yeah. Although it's not like next door, is it? It's about, 500 kilometers away?
It's, something like
is
that.
Is it a flight?
Yeah. It's a 1 hour flight or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was so funny because when Eliza Benitez was here on her tour, we met, and she was like, "Okay, so I'm going to Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and you all have different currencies."
Yeah.
Like, yep. And we kind of understand each other because, Norwegians usually understand both of the other countries, and it's a bit different with the other dialects. But the language is somewhat the same, but the currency is not the same.
Okay, different.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons I want to go, because I'm just fascinated by the culture of all these kind of Nordic countries. I've been to Lapland. I've taken my kids to see Father Christmas, but that's the only chance I've got. Which I think it was Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah. A few years ago, but that was awesome. Okay. I think we've time to wrap up. So it's been a good chat. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No worries at all. So we'll put this out in the next few days, and I'll put lots of things in the notes. I've been just making a few notes as we go for things like the events we've got coming up, and links to all your stuff, the excellent blogs that we've talked about and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for coming on the first show. It's been brilliant. And I will speak to you again soon. Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Thanks, Andy.
Cheers.